Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. So today I thought I'd do some more decoupage. These are my latest two, just these two little vases. I just got them from a thrift store. They were just glass, painted them white, and I decoupaged them. So those are my latest two, and then I thought I would have a go at decorating a photo frame. These are some of the other little projects I've done over the years. So I don't just do furniture makeovers, I do lots of different arts and crafts. Decoupage is one of them, and also I've just started doing some resin art too. So I'll pop a video in later about the resin art. I'm quite enjoying that. So this is the photo frame that I'm going to decoupage. And I have this little pack of tissues here. It's a garden theme with some butterflies on it. And the reason I've chosen this is mainly because of the butterflies. So this photo frame I'm doing is actually, it normally has a photo of my sister in there. And my sister passed away quite a few years ago now. And one thing I remember about her funeral is she had butterfly stickers that were being handed out to the little children that were at the funeral. And it always stuck in my mind. And every time I see a butterfly, especially a monarch butterfly, and my mum is the same, we always think of my sister Tanya. So yeah, so that's why I picked this particular tissue paper. So with these little tissue papers, they have 3 layers, so they're 3 ply. So you need to just take the 2 bottom ones off and keep the top one. And I was really lucky here how easy that came off. Normally it could be quite a hassle trying to get those 2 back pieces off. So I'm just lining it up now to see what it would look like. And it fits right across, which is convenient. And I'm just going to cut out that middle section that I don't need and save those butterflies. Pop that down and see what it looks like. So I've left a little bit of overhang on the inside of the frame there, so I'm going to be pushing down the tissue paper into the frame, into the inside of the frame. That looks okay. So I use this Mod Podge. This is the gloss Mod Podge. And I just use a very thin layer, so don't go heavy on it because it saturates the tissue, and the more Mod Podge or glue that you have on, the more wrinkled it's going to get. So I find if you just use it sparingly, so just coat your project before you put the tissue on, you have a better outcome with less wrinkles. And there's another trick I'll show you too, how to get rid of the wrinkles in a minute. So just putting glue all the way on the inside of that edge, because like I said, I'm going to be pushing the tissue paper down into it. Just line up that bottom straight edge. As close as you can get it. Don't worry if it overhangs, you can always trim it later. I'll just run my finger gently. Try not to fiddle with it too much with your fingers in case the glue comes straight through the paper and sticks to your finger, and then you pull your finger away and then you're going to rip your paper. So just gently place that down, and I'm just using my brush to push the edges down. My brush hasn't really got any glue on it, it's just what was left over. Just gently tap those down and get into those little grooves that was on the inside of the frame. Tiny little bit more on the top there because it was dry. Just putting a tiny little bit of glue all around the edge there. You can see that bit of tissue on the right's flapping. I'm just pushing that down right to the edge, but not over. So this is the other trick. Grab yourself some Glad wrap and pop a piece on top. So now you can smooth it quite firmly with your fingers and you're not going to stick. So just press down. You can see wrinkles, just give them a real good press. But don't swipe side to side roughly because that could move the tissue underneath. But just firmly press down and very slowly pull the Glad wrap off. And you should have a nice smooth finish with no wrinkles or very, very little. So that's the bottom. Now I'm thinking, what shall I do with the top? And as you know, when you open a bag of tissues, it has like a reverse picture, like the picture is upside down on one half. So that's not going to look any good, because then everything will be upside down if I use the other end of it. So what I thought I'd do is I'll just cut out pieces and place them where I wanted. And there's plenty of butterflies on that one tissue that I used. And I thought I'd just put a little bit of flowers just in that one corner because I don't want to overload the whole frame with pictures. So when you're cutting out individual, try and cut as close as you can to the actual picture and leave as little white tissue showing as you can. A smaller pair of scissors probably would have been easier for me to use in this. So I'm going to have to invest in some decent scissors, I think. So this is just going to go into the corner. Just place that there and see what it looks like. Happy with that, so going to do a bit more trimming. Take away as much white as I can. It looks good, so go ahead, grab your little bit of Mod Podge and repeat the process. Once you've put it down, it's really hard to pull it back off if you want to move it, so just take your time to get it where you want it to go. Same thing, just dampen down those edges right to the edge with your damp brush, not loaded with glue, just using the brush really to push it down. Then I thought I'd put a little butterfly there. Normally I do the Glad wrap thing straight away, but decided I'll put this little butterfly in first and then do the Glad wrap. So with the butterfly I went right to the edge of the butterfly so there was no white showing, no white tissue showing. And I'll just pop him down there. And I'll just pop his wing just over that edge of the tissue. So trying to camouflage that straight line. At the end of that, where I put those flowers, there's a bit of a straight line on each end. So if you pop a butterfly or something over that edge, it sort of blends in that edge so it sort of disappears a bit. So you don't have such a straight line where I've cut the tissue. Bit more Glad wrap on top and press that down again. Because I'm using a very thin layer of Mod Podge, it dries quite fast, which is good and prevents those wrinkles. So I thought a few more butterflies. So easy with arts and crafts to, I feel, overdo it. You know, sometimes I could do more and more and more, and then it's just too much. Sometimes you just have to step back and say, is that enough? Don't put any more on, that's enough. But as you'll see, I had a few more. So you can decoupage on most things. The glass vases that I did, I just spray painted them white and then did them, and they turned out really well. You can do all sorts of things. The easiest thing to start on would probably be a coaster. So you can just buy little round wooden coasters from our hardware store in New Zealand here called Bunnings. They have them, like a pack of, I think it's 4 or 6. Just start out simple with coasters if you like, and see how that goes, and then you might do something a bit harder, or well, that's not really hard, I shouldn't say harder. It's a pretty easy thing to do really, but yeah, start out with something simple like coasters if you like. So one more butterfly down there, because I've got that straight edge, just to hide that straight edge a little bit where I'd cut the tissue. Well, I hadn't cut it. I did cut it there. So it just disguises that edge a little bit. And there, I think that's just about it. Just be careful if you're reusing a piece of Glad wrap. Just check which side is sticky and turn it over and use the side that's not sticky, because that could pull it off again if you're using old pieces of Glad wrap that's already got glue on them. Your best bet is to get a new piece every time. So once it's dry, completely dry, I just get a piece of sandpaper and I just scrape downwards away from the paper. You don't want to go side to side or up, because you could lift the paper, and that just cuts the paper completely nice and straight and comes away really clean and gives it a nice sharp clean edge. So just rub lightly downwards with your sandpaper and you'll see it just falls off. You'll see here, it's a better example here on the side. Just rub down, down, down like that. And you'll see that line that's appeared. And then you just pull your piece off that you don't want. I'm just pointing out here that you can't see the edges of the butterfly because I've cut right to the picture. Now what I'm doing, I'm just, because I used a gloss and this frame was a matte paint, I'm just filling in the little bits that are still looking a bit matte. So I've just gone and put a layer of that Mod Podge over the whole frame. And the reason why I do that is because the varnish that I'm using today is a matte varnish, so I need everything to look the same. So that's why I covered everything with Mod Podge first. So when I sprayed it, it would all have the same effect, the same shine. If I didn't, and I left patches, you'd have matte pieces and gloss pieces. of a finished product, so I just wanted to even it up. So this is what I'm talking about. This is the matte varnish. Don't normally use this one. I normally use Rust-Oleum High Gloss varnish, but I didn't have any, so that's why I coated it first with the Mod Podge. So it looked even. So just give that a light spray. And I came back in an hour and did another coat as well. And this is the end product. There she is. Tanya with her butterflies. What do you think, guys? Pretty simple. Let me know your thoughts. Have a great day, guys, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye.